bubble central. And if we're talking about the college football playoff as like an apartment building, and those are the teams in the penthouse, these are the teams I would say are in the lobby. And y'all, Tennessee, I had to fight my better judgment to not put them in the playoff penthouse. I think we need to see a little bit more from them, but I mean, they just absolutely obliterated NC State. And the question going in was, well, okay, Nico, now we've seen him in the bowl game, and we saw him, against Chattanooga, and he looked real good, but like, what is Nico really? I get it. It wasn't an away game, but it wasn't a home game either. And I have to think that NC State, with that being in Charlotte, had their fair share of supporters. Obviously, Nico Iamaleava is a big exclamation mark on what you expect Tennessee to be this year. And with him playing the way that he did, and I know he had the 2 picks, I'm not really too worried about that right now. I love the mobility. I love the quarterback design run game. I said it feels like they now have the volume cranked up on what the Josh Heupel offense can be out there in Knoxville. It's the defense. Like, if you have reason to be excited about Tennessee, what they've been so far in that front 7 led by James Pierce, y'all, they had 13 tackles for a loss against NC State. Even if Nico Iamaleava has a couple other hiccups left in his first year as the guy at Tennessee, even if he doesn't play an absolutely flawless season, you've got a defense now that you can lean on a little bit more. And I'm telling you this right now, the offense at times will look very 2022-ish. Like, when Nico is on, he's on. I said it before. I think he's the most physically gifted quarterback you've ever had in Knoxville. Not the best. Peyton Manning's the best, but physical tools, physical giftings, that's Nico Iamaleava. They are going to hum offensively a lot this year. But if they're ever not, you got a defense you can lean on a little bit. Imagine if you could say that about your 2022 squad with Hendon Hooker. Imagine you put a squad like that in a 12-team playoff. I like Tennessee a lot. I had them as a playoff team before the year started. I still have them as a playoff team. I'm not putting them in the penthouse just yet, but if you were to put them on the bubble, they're at the front of the line in that lobby to take the elevator up to the penthouse. September 21st, they go to Norman, Oklahoma. That's the game I want to see before we move them up. College football fans, whether you're a Tennessee Volunteer fan, you're an Oregon fan, whoever you're a fan of, we're going to talk a lot about your team. Make sure you're subscribed. We appreciate both those fan bases specifically. A lot of y'all have subscribed to this channel, so thank you. College football season is here. Want y'all a part of it. Make sure you're locked in. Let's get after it this year. Now, Oregon, they were in the playoff penthouse last week. Played Idaho real close, and I was like, man, I'm not worried about it. Don't sell your Oregon stock. I was saying Oregon's fine. Was saying I felt pretty good about Oregon to go out and work Boise State at home, and y'all, they did not look like that dominant team we expected them to look like, coming off of a game where they looked a little bit lackluster against an FCS Idaho. I'm not selling my stock, but I'm also not quite as confident as I was a couple of weeks ago. That's why they're on the bubble in my mind. The thing with Oregon for me is I think they have issues. I don't think they have problems. Like, problems, you need a concrete solution. Problems, you need to get another player. You need to fix a coaching thing. You need, like, there's actual, like, solutions that need to be acquired. Issues, I think you can work through. Issues to me is like you have everything you need. You just got to find a way to put it together. They haven't done that just yet. I think it is far more likely that Oregon is just trying to gel right now through 2 weeks of the season with a transfer quarterback, a transfer wide receiver, some transfer pieces on defense. I think that's more likely than them just not being who we thought they would be going into the year. The roster is still one of the best in college football. I put the roster up there with Ohio State and Georgia and Texas, but like, can they gel and put it together? That's the big question. So far, hasn't looked great. A little bit more nervous, not selling stock, but understand now, the longer you hold that stock, that price is not trending upward. So Oregon for us on the bubble this week, chilling in the lobby of the college football playoff apartment, but nonetheless, they have some margin for error now with their bigger roster tests a little bit later in the year. Now, if they play the way they've played now these first 2 weeks, they will get beat before October. I'll just say that. However, if they continue to trend the right way, they don't play Ohio State till October. They don't play Michigan till November. So we'll see. We'll see about Oregon, but yeah, concerned a little bit. For Penn State, we've seen some good, we've seen some bad. To me, they're on the bubble this week. I just need to see more consistency because I picked West Virginia when they went to Morgantown. Got in here on Tuesday, ate crow. I was like, hey, I was wrong. That offense is explosive. They look good. And then Bowling Green goes out and gives them the game till the fourth quarter. Like, wait, who are you? I'm not 100% sure what we're getting just yet from Penn State. I like them a lot. I just want to see more consistency. I like Drew Aller. I like the way that offense is progressing. I want to see more consistency from the team overall. Because the offense looked good week 1. Offense, quite frankly, looked pretty good week 2. But the defense, to look that way against Bowling Green, hey, let's pick it up a little bit here. So for me, they're on the bubble this week. Now, USC was another team that right now is in Bubble Central, just hanging out. They're a team that I was very, very close to moving up into the playoff penthouse. Defense shut out Utah State. And you say, JD, it's Utah State. Yeah, it was also San Jose State a year ago in week 0, where I was like, hey, I'm not sure just yet about the defense. Like, give them some time. We were having to talk about the USC defense against inferior competition the last couple of years. Don't discredit them for shutting out Utah State. A shutout versus anybody for USC right now is good news. They held LSU to 20 points. I think LSU is still a pretty stacked offense, just so we're all on the same page there. I'm excited about USC. And, y'all, I cannot wait. September 21st now is going to be a great weekend. September 21st, they go to Ann Arbor. We're going to find out about USC. We'll find out about the offense, sure, and it's going to be a better test for them, I think, than they've had to this point in the season. But, we're going to find out a lot about the defense. Because if they can hold up against that smash-mouth approach, and I understand they got issues at quarterback and all that, does Michigan, we'll see. But, they're going to run the football. If USC can hold serve against that Michigan line of scrimmage, all right, look out for USC now. Look out for USC. Now, I have Oklahoma State also on the bubble right now. And I'm not knocking Oklahoma State. This is essentially just my unofficial, official prediction for them to be the second best team in the Big 12 right now. Found a way to get it done at home against Arkansas. You would have liked to see a little bit more, of a quick start from them at home, from that veteran operation. We'll keep an eye on Oklahoma State. They're going to have a chance now to settle on the field, but I'm not 100% sold on them just yet. Again, nothing bad to say about them. Found a way to get it done at home against a squirrely Arkansas operation, but even with that being said, to me, I don't think you'll see more than one Big 12 team in the college football playoff. That'll be the champion. To me, they're still the second best team as of right now. Now, I have Missouri hanging out in Bubble Central, and I think the logic to push back against this is extremely fair. Where you say, JD, you put Ole Miss in the college football playoff penthouse. Why don't you put Missouri? They're both handling business against inferior competition. I'll be honest, there's some preseason bias here for me with Mr. Drinkwitz and Mr. Brady Let Him Cook. I love those guys. They're some of my favorite individuals in college football. We talked to Luther Burden, and he's like, I want to win the Heisman. And I love so much that he had the gumption to say that during SEC Media Days. However, they lost a lot from last year's squad. They lost 40% production on defense. They lost their DC. I just want to see. They lost Cody Schrader. I just want to see them play better competition before I put them in the penthouse, all right? Now, the schedule plays in their favor. On paper, it did, at least in the preseason. But, y'all, I'll just say this. The end of September for them looks a lot more difficult than we thought it would look when we glanced over this whole deal back in the summer. They play Boston College this week. Y'all, Boston College is ranked. That's a ranked matchup. Gotta love college football. And then they also play Vanderbilt. And Vanderbilt now, with the way they're looking, that team in Nashville is not going to be an easy out. I'll just say that. They got them in back-to-back weeks. They get them both at home, but I'm just saying, keep an eye on Missouri. We're going to find out a lot more about them in the coming weeks, and obviously when they go to Texas A&M, we'll have a better gauge for them. So those are the teams for me right now that are on the bubble when it comes to the college football playoff picture. The Money Game is now out on Prime Video. It just dropped yesterday. The Money Game is a compelling 6-part docuseries that chronicles the introduction of the groundbreaking decision by the NCAA to grant name, image, and likeness rights to student athletes, permitting them for the first time ever to earn an endorsement compensation while maintaining their amateur athletic status. Now, this docuseries provides an exclusive all-access pass inside LSU athletics, NILSU, as I would call it. The docuseries will examine the impact of NIL rights on college athletics as seen through the eyes of some of the top athletes at LSU. You got Angel Reese in there, you got Livvy Dunne in there, you got Jayden Daniels in there. Really, really intriguing. Go ahead and binge this on Prime Video today from executive producer and LSU alum, Shaquille O'Neal. The Money Game is out right now on Prime Video exclusively, so go check that out. Hey y'all, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.